Sydney. Sydney. Sydney.
Oh, fuck. What is going on with
Sydney. What's going on?
This is Sydney Powell, believed to be the victim of a horrifying break-in that left her and her mother, Brenda Powell, brutally attacked inside their own home. But as the investigation unfolded, the truth painted a far more horrifying picture. The real threat was someone much closer to home than anyone could have imagined.
Yeah. That's her dad.
Do you think he did this?
What happened?
We're not sure. It looks like, I don't think someone broke into the house.
On March 3rd, 2020, police rushed to Brenda Powell's home after Sydney's college called 911. They'd heard yelling and screaming in the background while talking to Brenda. When officers arrived, they found Sydney in shock and Brenda badly hurt.
Take her outside.
Come on. Come on.
Is she gonna be okay?
Come on. Come on. Come on. You just need to cooperate with me, all right?
I love my dad.
Huh?
I love my dad.
What happened? What's going on? What's going on?
We heard a bang. We heard a bang. And she told me to get out. And then I heard screaming. So I came back and she was on the ground.
Okay, you heard a bang.
Out back. There was a big broken.
Okay. What is your name?
Sydney.
Are you cut?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you're cut somewhere.
I don't think so.
Yeah, your hand.
No, I was helping her. I grabbed her.
All right, stop. I'll tell you what. Can you sit on the ground here real quick? Come on. Come on.
You said the ground.
Yeah, you're fine right there.
No.
You're fine right there.
I grabbed the knife.
Before the Britain Street exit ramp. A truck was concrete.
This is minor. They might have a more. I don't know. Check that victim in there. She's got cuts on her hands. I don't know what they have in there, but there's a female down in there. Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. We just got
the dad. I'm the dad.
Okay,
Sydney. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. What? What the hell? Where's my wife?
The window's broken, Dad.
Where?
The back window's broken in.
So you're gonna have to.
Daddy.
There's officers inside there, so
I don't know. She was there.
go
Was
check
so
the
much
lady in the
blood.
house. Okay, she's got minor cuts. It's pretty bad up there. What's your name, ma'am? Sorry, what's your name again? She's got cuts on her hands.
Okay.
So.
Take care of her.
Dave, I think this is, are you dad?
Yeah, I'm the dad.
Can you stay here with them?
We have another. I'll call for another med unit.
This is when I found it. She's been, I think she has been going to crash for the last couple of weeks.
So she just came home today?
Yeah, today. It's like 11 o'clock.
Sydney. Sydney. Sydney.
Oh fuck! What is going on with
Sydney? What's going on? Huh?
I need to know what's going on.
We don't know yet.
More officers arrived, securing the scene and calling for medical help. Stephen Powell was out when a friend told him police were at his house. Panicked and desperate, he rushed home, trying to find out what was happening and if his wife and daughter were okay.
Yep.
23 to a unit out there. You can go to 5.
Do you live here, sir?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my wife and there's my daughter.
Okay, how old's your daughter?
She'll be 20 in March. She's 19 minutes today. It's Brenda Powell.
We know how long Dad's been here?
No idea.
Don't know what's going on yet.
Huh?
Don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
Officers started piecing together what had happened inside the house. The place was a disaster. Furniture flipped, windows shattered, blinds ripped apart, and blood splattered everywhere. In the basement, blood was dripping down the wall from where Brenda had been attacked, and a knife lay nearby. Officers rushed Brenda, barely hanging on to life, and Sydney, who was in shock, bruised, and unconscious, to the hospital.
Somebody riding with her?
We're good. Going down.
Hey, somebody needs a ride with her. Somebody needs a ride with her.
With that much destruction inside, someone had to have heard something. So officers started canvassing the neighborhood, looking for anyone who might have seen or heard anything.
What's up? Now, did you happen to hear anything out of the ordinary? No. 2 houses down? See anything? Okay. What's your name, sir?
Most excitement I've ever seen on this street.
So obviously you didn't hear anything or see anything over at this house earlier? Okay.
Why? What happened?
Well, something not good. So, I mean, we're here. So.
I could speculate, but I don't want to do that. It's just serious.
Oh, I'm sure.
So.
With that much, I would think it would be serious.
Right. So. Well, I'll let you get back.
They're good people.
Yeah, I know. I
They're
actually
very
know
good
Steve.
people. Oh, I do too. I like
went
it.
to school with them and was in Boy Scouts with them.
Wasn't you here sometime in the summer 2 or 3 years ago?
Wasn't me.
Okay.
No.
We always.
I didn't even know he lived back. I know him from high school and from Boy Scouts, and that's about it.
Yeah, he keeps busy with his kids.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm not sure what's going on. You know,
You'll
got a
find
couple
out.
people hurt down there. So, you have a good day. Stay dry.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. So, did you see anything kind of weird today or anything? Just nothing going on.
Nothing that I've seen.
No strange cars around or anything like that.
I didn't see any.
Okay. Would you normally be looking? Because like when I'm at home on my day off, my house has all kinds of windows and I see everything.
I can sit at my dining room table and watch the brick house and all up through there.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything.
Didn't see
today.
anything?
No.
Okay.
With neighbors saying they hadn't heard or seen anything, doubts about Sydney's story started to grow. Officers also noticed the broken windows were shattered from the inside, hinting that the break-in was staged. They decided to speak with her father, Steve, but his answers only raised more questions.
She's not mental issues. She's not happy at school. And she said she seems to have. She said today, like all her friends have their shit together and she doesn't. So yeah, we were putting 2 and 2 together a while ago. She'd come home on the weekends out of the blue and nothing really mattered. So yeah, she. Oh, fuck. Are they thinking she did this?
I don't know what happened. Come on. I wish I did. I pulled up too.
Well,
you want to get out of the rain and sit in the car or here or no? Hold on one second. I'm gonna call Kenny, and
Well,
I know he's on his way.
I called him on his cell.
I'm not trying to put you in the back. I just want you to get out of the rain.
Yeah,
And
you get me out so I can't
we'll
see.
keep the door open. Are we good here or no?
Do I need to call Brenda's mom?
Probably should.
Why don't you, General?
They're going to General. I think I should probably go to the same place. Let me ask you, is she having a problem with a guy at school or no?
No, not that.
Okay.
Hey there, can you come up here? They're taking Brenda to General Hospital. I don't know. I'm in the back of a cop car. There's probably 10 cops. Supposedly it looks like a break-in, but I don't know what the fuck's going on. But they're taking her to Akron General. What the hell's going on?
All I can tell you is I know that they're both injured.
How bad is Brenda?
I didn't see Brenda. I don't know.
Well, they were in there a while. There was no rush.
I know that they want to get her to the hospital as quick as possible. So if there's no doubt, they wouldn't be taking her to the hospital. Okay, so I just want you to know that. All right, they're going to take her to the hospital.
They think Sydney did this?
I don't know that.
But this doubt about Sydney didn't just come out of nowhere. To understand why, officers decided to talk to the people who knew her best, starting with her father.
Who'd you get a call from? Or what happened?
Got a call from him. Call from me.
Oh, okay.
He said there was a call, went out, a distress call from the University of Mount Union where my daughter was going, and said, female in distress. And I said, well, that's funny because Brenda's there, my wife. So I said, well, let me call. So I called Brenda, and it rings and rings on the cell phone, no answer. I call Sydney back, rings and rings and rings, no answer. I call Brenda back, ring, no answer. I'm pacing around. I call Jeep back, and as I'm on the phone with him, telling him there's no answer, my doctor calls me back and said, "Oh, Mom's on the phone with Mount Union." I said, "Well, cops are on the way," and she went, "There's been a break-in," and she just started going off. She said, "What?" She said, "There's been somebody broke into the house. There's blood everywhere." And I'm like, "Stop!" And then I started. That's when I called. I'm sure there was conversations after that, but I'm not going to remember the detail. She was hysterical and crying. I called Jeep back and said, "Yeah, I don't know what I told you. I don't know if I said it was legit or yeah, it's the cops on the way. There's been a break-in," and I left. Drove home and saw about.
So at first, when you talked to her, she said that your wife was on the phone with Mount Union.
Yes.
And
as soon as I said cops are on the way, the hysterics started.
Is she still attending Mount Union?
Well, as far as we knew up until today, yes, but apparently not for the last, I don't know, maybe couple weeks. Because I tried to get on, I don't know, this was a couple weeks ago, I tried to get on the website I like to check the balance, and she's been coming home on and off on the weekends a little, just odd, little frequently. Not never seemed odd for sorts, you know, I mean, it's acted perfectly normal. But she came back, and I'm like questioning, well, why aren't you at school? Why are you coming home? And, you know, it's all the same, just, you know, the vague non-answers. And so she turned off her like Life 360 app. But I think on that app, you can't see where she's going. You can kind of see highlights of where the phone was. Well, you know, I'm kind of looking, I'm like going, well, you're not where you're supposed to be. This is kind of weird. So I called her on it, and I said, you know, because I went on, so then I tried to go on the Mount Union website, and I figured, I was going to see if there's anything on that. Parents only have so much, you know.
Right.
I'm willing to pay the bill and everything, but if you want to find anything about it, you're out of luck.
Right.
So, but I figured I'm going to try. So I sign on, it says your password or your login or password ID doesn't work. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I recover my password, and I put in the right answer, and it didn't work. And I did that a few times, and I texted her back and said, something's not working. What's wrong? She comes up with something that says the website's down, basically, and you know, but I'm working on it. So a few days pass later. Nothing seems out of the ordinary until maybe it was today, I tried to get back on. Oh, Mount Union calls me today. Because I sent them an email that says, my user ID is this, my ID is this, my password's not working, my recovery answer won't work, and I know where I was born, I know my car, and it doesn't, when you type in your recovery email, the system just, it didn't recognize it. So I sent Mount Union Billing an email and says, basically, what's wrong? So she called me back today and says, well, the reason you can't get on, long story short, is your daughter's unenrolled. So I went, what's going on? So I text Sydney, I'm like, oh, give me a call. I have a question to ask you. I call her, no answer. I say, give me a call, question to ask. I have a question to ask you. And I look on that little Life 360 app, and her car was at home. I'm like, wow, that's kind of weird. So I leave my phone at home so she can't track me. And I go home, and there she is. She's at home. Perfectly normal. I mean, she's crying because I said, what's going on? Are you not going to school? She goes, I'm overwhelmed in school, and I don't really like what I'm doing, and it seems like it's a waste of my time and your money. I said, well, but that's all part of it. Nobody's going to tell you you need to do what you're doing when you're 20. You need to figure it out. But you have to work through the problem. You can't just ignore the problem and have it go away. It's not.
I'm sorry. When did you have that conversation?
Today, like 11:30. I don't remember. Yeah, it was. Before, I left work because it was before lunch. It was maybe around 11 because I was probably there from 11 to 11:30. So from her phone call. So that, I mean, that's what I said. You know, my recommendation is call the school back, call the student union, get reinstated, and then if you have to take the summer off, take the summer off. Figure out what you wanted. She was supposed to take summer class because she changed a couple majors, and that's what she goes, all my friends have their shit together and I don't. I said, well, I'm 54 and I don't have my shit together. That, you know, don't look at it that way. You need to work the problem. You can't just have the problem sit there and ignoring it is not going to do you any good. So I went back, I called my wife from my daughter's phone. She picks up, she was working down at Children's. And she goes, what's wrong? And I basically told her, I said, you know, I mean, Sydney, I think the reason we can't get on is because she's unenrolled. She hasn't been going to school. She goes, well, and then we talked to Jill, her boss, and says, I'll see if I can come home. So I left. On the way home, I either on my way back to work or when I'm at work, I call Brenda, and she's like, well, I'm just pulling in now. So I let it go, and then I get a text from Brenda that says, she says something to the effect of she was on the phone waiting for someone from Student Affairs to call me back. And that was at 12:36. She said, how much was the check that they're returning? Because Mount Union told me, too, before, with the phone conversation, we're returning your check. I'm like, well, you know, nobody would return a check. So I said, I texted her back at 12:36, and I said I had no idea. It was electronic. I said, check on the scholarship, too. Make sure she didn't lose that at 12:37. At 12:39, I got on the bank account, and I said, maybe. I go, $5,435. And then at 12:41, what did you discuss with her? And that was it.
So 12:41 was the last.
12:41 was the last, and I don't know how to tell what time I got his call. Recent. 12:54. 12:54 seems like it, because then I called, maybe it was a little before that, maybe it was 12:51, that sounds maybe right.
What is your phone number?
330-472-3951. So at 12:49 I called, and I think it went to run. I don't know if it connected or not. I don't know how to do that. 12:51 a call from Jeep. Then at 12:52 I called Brenda. 12:53 I called Sydney. 12:53 I called Brenda. 12:54 I called Jeep and said there's no answer. Here, you can look at it. So I don't know. So I called Jeep and said there's no answer. Then while I'm on the phone with Jeep, Sydney calls back, and that was that conversation.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you Steve?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Crystal,
Hi.
victim assistance. How are you?
Okay.
This is Miranda.
Hi. So then that was it. Then after that, then I left once I talked to Sydney, and I hightailed it home.
She said she was stressed out.
She told me that today. She told me that today, that she was overwhelmed.
Is she on any medication? Or
Nope. No.
Has she ever tried marijuana?
I don't know. I didn't think she drank until the first time she drank, and then I think she realized.
How long was that?
It was last year. It was her freshman year, and I'm sure she does. I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna say she doesn't, but I don't think it was ever a problem. But not an expert in that field.
Has she ever had any psychological problems in the
No. She's always been, shy and, reserved, and that was always the problem is, she never says anything. So Brenda said she didn't realize she was having her period until tampons were missing. Excuse my language. So that's just the kind of person that she was. It was all, internalized, and that's why I told her now. I said, well, nobody can help you if you don't tell what the problem is.
Did she say anything else about the break-in or anything like that?
Just hysterics. Said there was a break-in and there's blood everywhere, and I'm like, where's your mother? And she's just nothing.
While interviewing Steve, officers received devastating news. Brenda had passed away from her injuries. It was then they decided to break the heartbreaking news to him, along with a deeply disturbing revelation about his daughter, Sydney.
Well, I have really bad news. Your wife passed away.
What happened?
We're not sure. It looks like, I don't think someone broke into the house. I don't know if your wife and daughter got into an argument or got physical. I mean, the window was broken, but there's no forced entry into the house. The window's broken, but nobody actually came through that window. And the sliding door was unlocked. So, did your wife and daughter ever have like really heated arguments?
No.
We're here for anything that happens from here on out, okay?
This is not possible.
Steve still had one heartbreaking task ahead of him.
Your son's outside, but he doesn't know anything that's going on.
My son's here?
Yes. We do help. What do you do?
I don't know what I need. I don't know. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I don't know where to go with Andrew. I don't know where to go to see Brent. I don't know. I have no idea.
He's here.
Yeah, he's probably wondering why the hell he's here.
Yeah. I wouldn't know where to begin. How you
No idea.
bring him into this conversation, but he's going to need to know.
But yeah,
He's
that's
going
right.
to find out. I don't know if maybe you guys can help him.
How old is your son?
16.
16. Do you think that you would have him to come in here, or you're not sure?
I don't know. I know nothing. I don't know what I want or how I feel or how anybody should feel.
I'll watch your stuff. Close the door.
I got you. Thanks. Sit down. Mom, Dad. No. I don't know. Mommy, I don't know what happened yet. don't know what happened there. It was just you and me. Sydney, thank you. I know Sydney's not that. Oh my God, thank you. But I don't know what's going on yet. But they just told me Mom died. Mom. It's just not. Wait. Mom. No.
With Sydney still in shock and not saying a word, officers turned to someone who knew her best, her friend and former college roommate, Lauren Curry.
Tell us about Sydney. When did you first meet and how long have you known each other?
I've known Sydney for 6 years. We met the first day of summer gym in high school, and then we were best friends ever since. Very close.
And what was Sydney taking?
Well, she started off in exercise science freshman year, her first semester, but then she didn't like the classes, so she switched over to psychology and sociology, but then she didn't really like that, so this year she switched to education, and then she didn't like that either, and that's one of the reasons she left, is because she really couldn't find what she liked, so she was trying to figure it out.
So tell us about the time you spent together at Mount Union. You said that she really couldn't find something that she was interested in.
I think her most interest, was psychology, like learning about that stuff, but other than just like hanging out with her friends, like educational wise, it was kind of hard for her, I think.
Where did you stay at there? Where do you stay at?
Freshman year we were in a dorm room, and then this year we were in a suite, so it's like a dorm room but like two, so we had like neighbors, and we shared a bathroom.
So when you first got to Mount Union, how did it go for Sydney? Did she seem to be? You mentioned that she didn't really, find a niche as far as what she wanted to study. But did she ever talk to you about her classes and how that's going, or did you share that with each other?
Yeah, I think we talked about classes a lot because we did homework together a lot. I think she was like I said, I think she struggled in her classes. I don't think her grades were the best, but she didn't really tell me that because I wasn't really struggling. But I think you could tell, kind of, especially at the end, that she just wasn't like doing her best. And like in high school, she was very like good grades and everything. So I think it was kind of a shock for her not to be like to struggle. I think a little bit.
Think it's like a study habit thing? Because, it's a big difference from college to...
I think so. Because, like, in high school, sometimes you can procrastinate a little bit, and in college, you definitely can't.
So she just wasn't, did it seem like, how did this, like, kind of change affect her? Did it affect her moods at all? Did she seem concerned about it? Or tell us about that.
I think she kept a lot of stuff hidden, because when we were just talking or with our friends, she always seemed happy. Like, she seemed okay, like I said, I couldn't tell until the end when she was kind of just like struggling and she kind of was sad and just like, Lauren, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, you just need to find what makes you happy, and like, just, you need to find what you like to do. And I don't know, I think it did make her a little upset because she was confused, because I think she felt like everybody around her kind of had figured out what they wanted to do, and she hadn't. So I think that kind of affected her.
So when do you think that it really started affecting her? That, like, look, this is, I'm really having problems, and this is, I have to. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell us when you think that it really started affecting her, like, often.
Like her anxiety? Well, I know she's had anxiety for a while, but I think those this last semester, like starting coming back in January, is when it really started, like she was kind of more like upset because she really didn't know what she wanted to do, like she didn't like her classes, because that's when she started the education classes, and like my friends and I were worried for her because we didn't know what was going on because she wouldn't tell us, and like there was problems with like housing or something. Just like we shared a room and had like put names on the doors, and her name wasn't on it when we got back, and we were confused about that. And she said it's because they messed up, because she didn't sign the forms right or something, but it kind of never got fixed. And then she left. And my friends and I were just worried because we didn't even know if she got any books for her classes. Like, we were trying to ask her questions like that. And, like, she's like, no, I have books and I have stuff for my classes. But, like, I do homework all the time. And I don't think I saw her doing a lot of homework the last couple weeks. So I think this last semester, this January part when she was there, kind of affected her the most.
So, had you hung out over the Christmas break?
Yeah.
And was she talking about, what was she talking about then? Was she talking about the next semester, or did you guys talk about school at all?
I don't think we talked about school. Maybe living situations, because for like junior year we were talking about living in the townhouses and like what we were gonna need. So I think we were talking about living situations, but like school-wise and class-wise, I don't think so much.
So when you came back from Christmas break, you didn't see her name on the door.
Yeah.
And when did she come back?
She came back the same day.
Same day?
Yeah.
Did you come together?
No.
Okay.
No, she came in her own car.
And so take us through again, her name wasn't on the door.
Yeah.
And how did...
So I guess the dorm people do that?
Yeah, so the RAs do that.
Okay.
And so we were like, oh, what happened? Like, maybe you should go ask the RA, because people were asking, like, why is her name on the door? I'm like, I don't know. So she was kind of hesitant to ask the RA, so that's when we were kind of just like, what's going on? Like, my sweet mate, Alyssa, and I were asking, like, oh, what's going on? And Sydney's just said that when she signed out the forms wrong, so she was meeting with residents, like, a lot in the last couple weeks to kind of figure out, like, to get her stuff back, because then when her name wasn't on the door, her dorm key, like the thing to get into the dorm building, it stopped working. And so, but then it started working again, because she went over to Res Life and they turned it back on. So I don't know what happened, really, but that's all she said. Her and her parents had a really good relationship. Like, her mom and her were best friends, probably. Like, they did everything together. Like, one of the reasons she went home was to be with her mom. They were always close. She never said anything bad about her mom. She never ever talked about having an argument with her mom. Like, I can't recall every time she'd be going home, she's like, I can't wait to see my mom. Or when she goes home for weekends, she'd be like, oh, my mom wants me to come home so we can hang out and like watch movies. And she loved being home. And she had a good relationship with her dad too. Like, I know that her and her dad liked to watch like Star Wars together, and he always like cooked food at the house. Like, he liked cooking, and she'd always talk about how good his food was and what they would get each other for Christmas and things about spring break. Like, she loved being home, like, with her family.
So when she's talking to you about you know, the problem she's having at school, did she mention that she tried talking to her parents at all, or that they, you know, they were going to have, that they were involved in her future plans at all?
Yeah, I know she definitely, especially when she left, she talked to her mom about leaving, and they kind of made that decision together to leave Mount. Like, she told them that. She didn't tell them for a while, but I knew when everything kind of built up, she was telling them how she was struggling with school. And then when she left, I know that was a decision between like her and her parents, kind of mutual type decision.
Now, when you say that she told them and it was like a mutual decision, is that her telling you that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that her telling you that she...
She told me that she talked to her parents and they decided that it would be best for her to just not finish the rest of the semester.
So, as far as you know, based on what Sydney was telling you, she was discussing the situation. I mean, did you think her parents knew based on what she told you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you never ever talked to the parents, all right?
No, I haven't seen her parents in a while.
So you last saw her, which would have been like a week before the incident, and then had she removed all her things, or what about, did you get the impression that she was moving out at that point for good?
When she told me that Tuesday morning, we woke up and she was talking, she's like, I need to tell you something. My family and I decided that it'd be better to like take the rest of the semester off, and I have to leave today. And then she like packed up all of her stuff and kind of told all of her friends, and then she left that Tuesday with all of her stuff, all of her bedding, all of her clothes, all of her items.
And that was a Tuesday before the incident happened?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And then she drives up to see you the Monday night before?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did she say anything that day when you were watching The Bachelor, or how did that? Did you ask how she was doing, or tell us about that?
Yeah, we asked how she was doing, and she said she was good. Like, she acted like what we would see as normal. Like, she was laughing, she was having fun. She said she got jobs because she worked at the Akron Rubber Ducks. She's worked there for a couple seasons, so she was gonna go back there. And then she also said she was looking for another job, and like everything was good, and she was trying to figure out like for next year and all this stuff. And she was gonna talk to her parents about housing, trying to come back to Mount. That was her main thing. But she seemed fine. Like, she seemed completely, like I said, she was laughing and we were goofing off and doing girl stuff and everything like that.
When she's, once you got to Mount Union, or anytime actually, did Sydney ever drink alcohol at all, or she did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just kind of describe that for us. I mean, we've all been college age, so, and
no. I don't usually like drink a lot, and if I do, it's one. But she liked to drink. There was an incident in the fall of our freshman year where she drank too much, and she wasn't alcohol poisoned, but she did end up in the hospital. And her mom came and got her at like 2 in the morning, but she did end up in the hospital that day because she drank like mixed drinks and drank too much. But usually after that, her and I were together, and if she did drink, I usually kind of like slowed her down after I knew kind of her limit because she's small. So I kind of knew her limit, but she did drink.
What situation was that in? Was that like just like a party or something, or how was it?
I was in the dorm room watching movies because I didn't want to go out. So she went out with some other of her friends. I wasn't really close with them. I was close with one of them, but not the rest.
So, what is your phone number? What phone number do you have, Lauren?
330-687-9221. She did have a boyfriend from about like December before break until January when she came back. They broke up.
So, was it like a month or so?
Yeah, very short.
Do you know his name?
Dominic Zappa. Yeah.
So what made him break up?
He cheated on her on New Year's.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah.
That will make you happy.
No, yeah. So yeah, they broke up.
How did she find out that happened?
I had friends at the party that called me and told me, and then I told her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to break the news to her, huh?
Yep.
Had she ever, you mentioned that she had the drinking episode. Any kind of like breakdowns or anything, or you mentioned that, she had a hard time finding out what she wanted to do, what she studied, but any like real bad episodes that you can recall, anything like that?
I mean, not bad. Like, I've seen her cry, but not over like me. I've seen her cry before over like just being stressed. I don't think she handled stress very well, so she cried over stuff sometimes when she got too stressed out. But other than that, not really.
The worst, how did you take the news about Dominic?
She was upset for like a while, but then she just kind of was just like, it's not meant to be, that's okay, and then she broke up with him.
Where's she from?
I think more like the Cleveland area.
They have the words back and forth, or she just kind of like dumped him on text message?
Yeah, she dumped him over text. She was like, I found out, and she gave him a little bit to see if he'd tell her, and he never did. So she was like, I kind of don't like that you never told me, so I just think we should end things now, because it's not going to work out, basically, type of thing. She went through a period in high school, in her junior year, where she just was like almost social anxiety, like she didn't like to like talk to people other than like our friend group, or go out to like restaurants or stores. Like she wouldn't really talk to cashiers and stuff like that. We kind of helped her and pulled her out of it, and we kind of, a girl, I think, well, she went to the counselor, so like Sydney went to the counselor, kind of talked about it, and it got better after that. Like senior year, she was more normal, I guess you could say, but I think junior year she definitely struggled with it. And then in college, I think it got worse again, just because, like I said, she didn't know what she wanted to do, and I don't think her grades were where she wanted them to be. So, like when she like was doing her grades and stuff, I think that kind of stressed her out, and that got her more upset when she couldn't figure out why she wasn't doing as well, I think.
Do you think that she talked to any counselors up there?
I don't think she talked to any counselors at Mount, because you'd have to go to the health center, which is across campus, and she never went there.
So when she's, you mentioned that she was having problems with her grades. Did she ever talk to you about the university's feedback, like if she was on like probation or anything like that with her?
I know the reason I kind of found out is because in the sorority I got an executive position, or I was in a position to where I knew she couldn't do something because her grades, so she was academically for her grades in the sorority.
When would that have been?
That was
semester-wise?
That was last semester. I kind of found out about that because we have a thing called.
Which would have been the fall.
Yeah.
This past fall semester.
We have a thing called Big Little, where like the older girls get a new girl, and they kind of like their mentors, and she wasn't able to get one, I guess, because of her grades. So that's kind of when I found out, because I was in a minor position then, where I helped pick the Big Littles. So I was like in the position. I kind of found out because of that.
And how did she react when she was, when you talked to her about that? Or did you talk to her about it?
I didn't bring it up until I was just like, hey, I know you can't get a little, and they said it's because of your academics. Is there anything like you want to talk about? She's like, they just messed up my transcript. Like I didn't get as bad of grades. I'm like, I don't really think that happens, but yeah, that's what she told me, is that they messed up her transcript. But then she came and told me the truth a little bit later, that she did have bad grades.
And was that like this little thing, was that like towards the beginning of the semester? Or
more towards the middle to end.
Towards the middle to end? And that she did finally come forward and say that, she was, did she mention specifically what her grades were? Just said that she was having some problems. Okay.
And how do you find out that it was all bad? How do you find out about that?
When it was like all her grades were pretty bad.
Yeah.
I never really found out what they were exactly. She told me that she was like, I kind of have bad grades. My friend Brittany kind of struggled with grades a little bit, so she's the first one who kind of noticed that Sydney was struggling, because she had been in Sydney's position before, like her freshman and sophomore year, a little bit, so she kind of could tell, and she's the one who kind of like warned you gotta talk to her about it, like just make sure she's okay.
Right, was there any RAs that ever came and physically checked your suite there? See if she was staying there?
After she left. After she left. But before that, they came to talk to her.
Who's they? When you
the RA, our RA. She came and talked to her, and then Red Light was also coming and talking to her. They come and ask for her, and she talked to them.
Do you know how many days before she left would that have been, or was it weeks or days?
It was weeks, like throughout the weeks that she was there, kind of on and off.
And then that night that you saw her, did she make plans like to see you again?
We were gonna hang out. We were gonna try to hang out again soon, like over a weekend or something, but not like official or not specific plans, I guess.
After the interview, a chilling picture started to form. Sydney had been struggling for a long time, hiding her problems, lying to her parents, and pretending everything was fine. When the truth finally came out, she snapped. While her mother was on the phone with the college, Sydney got into a heated argument, then attacked her. hitting her with a frying pan and stabbing her more than 30 times. Afterward, she tried to stage a break-in, even pretending to be her mother on the phone to cover her tracks. In 2023, a jury found Sidney Powell guilty of murdering her mother, Brenda Powell, and sentenced her to 15 years to life in prison. But in December 2024, an appeals court overturned her conviction, citing errors in how her insanity defense was handled, and ordered a new trial. Prosecutors have since appealed to the Ohio Supreme Court, and as of 2025, Sidney's case remains in limbo. What do you think? Was Sidney truly in distress and suffering a mental breakdown? Or was it all part of an elaborate plan? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.